Hello, my name is Contover, and this is Current Buzz. Thank you for watching today. Today we have two gentlemen that have come one from Lowell and one from Portland, Maine. Kevin Coughlin is the president of the Lowell Sun Charities, and I'll explain why he's here today. With Bob Russo, he's the president of the New England Golden Gloves and also president of the National Golden Gloves. And basically what we're going to talk about is the Golden Gloves. The Golden Gloves have been going on in Lowell for how many years, Kevin?
78.
78 years. Golden Gloves in regards to boxing. So if you're interested in boxing, get in contact with some gyms and you'll be able to train, and we're going to tell you about something that may be coming to Lowell in 2027. In 2027, these gentlemen are trying to obtain Lowell as the place for the National Golden Gloves. And that's why I have them here, because we're going to do the nuts and bolts of the Golden Gloves and what's happening in Golden Gloves. So Kevin, seeing that you are from Lowell, and I don't know if you started this or how you implemented, but you have to make a presentation before the National Board of Golden Gloves. So tell me how this all started, besides me pestering you for the last 2 years in regards to getting the Golden Gloves, the National Golden Gloves in Lowell.
Thank you, Dean. Yeah, never a pest, always a supporter of the program. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
The Golden Gloves is very much a historic and collaborative effort. You know, we go back to the last tournament that was in Lowell in 1995. Bob will elaborate on that when he has his time. They've had one of the best youth development programs in Lowell that's anywhere in the country. And
interesting.
First and foremost, you know, I want to credit the Lowell Sun, because they, as an entity, created the charities and helped fund the program as it started and maintained itself. And going back over the years, life has changed. There used to be a lot of volunteerism from the corporate sponsors and all of that and now it's pretty much self-sustaining through the good work of Bob Russo and the other volunteers, officials, and you know, the history of boxers in the area that sustain that with our ticket holders. This idea of bringing it back really comes, I think, as a legacy to perhaps Terry McCarthy, who worked with the Lowell Sun Charities, and Bob Russo over the last years. And as we came out of COVID, we started really examining, you know, what are all the benefits that we have here in Greater Lowell? How do we take this youth development program, which is Golden Gloves, and bring it to another height? And what are the resources that are already there? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We're a tried and true program that has been successful. So Bob and I have been talking with the board of the Lowell Sun Charities, and we just started looking back and said, gee, how can it be that in a boxing city like Lowell, that since 1995, we haven't hosted such an event? No, this is a national event. There's, you know, a large number of franchises. There's a lot of people involved, and these have been happening all over the country since that time. And we're so fortunate that not only the guy who runs the Golden Gloves here, the executive director, is also the national chair here.
Right. So
he runs these tournaments all over the country. And collaboratively, we just got into this good conversation, very, very positive about, you know, is it time? Can Lowell do it again? Are the venues proper? A lot's changed since '95. You know, what are the logistics involved, and how many people, and what are the costs, and, you know, like, how far out do you have to do this? Because for me, I was starting from scratch. Bob is knowledgeable about some of those. So we brought the issue and the concept to the Lowell Sun Charities board, and then we brought it to the city manager and the mayor, and then we brought it to the peers that Bob has to accomplish the boxing during the year. And everybody said, yeah, you know what, let's take a good look at this. This could really, I think this could, you know, be something. Let's take a look. So we advanced it, you know, maybe 6 to 8 or 9 months ago with a conversation with the city officials, the mayor, the city manager, And since it's been joined really unanimously with council members to support. And Bob let me know that the National Tournament of Champions this year for Golden Gloves was going to be out in Detroit. And he, as well as our other supporters, the manager, the mayor, and all, asked me to go out, and it gave us an opportunity to be together, walking through the logistics, the mechanics, looking at the crowd, look at the venues, where do people stay, how do they eat, how does this whole process, which is a great, great institution, how does that happen over a week?
How was the crowd? That's the most important thing.
Well, the crowd it's a great crowd, but you have to understand that as the eliminations go on through the week, if teams get eliminated, those teams may leave. Right?
I see.
But the fan base, like we have with our season ticket holders and the New England franchise, participants, there isn't going to be an issue with fan base or desire. But the crowds out there are great. So the end result is we did reconnaissance. We talked at length. We came back and we reported back that not only did we think we had adequate facilities, we thought that we could provide a above and beyond opportunity with getting on a list and making an application. We thought we had above and beyond.
So you have to compile this information, hotels, logistics, food, travel.
Yeah, I'll let Bob talk about all of that, but those are the major components. You're bringing in a large amount of individuals, highly trained athletes and their coaches and their trainers, families and friends, and you're bringing them to a sanctioned, recognized event where they're going to have these national titles being awarded to them. And it's, Bob can mention some of these big fighter names that fought at the Lowell Auditorium. So many of these very successful professionals got their start coming through Golden Gloves and doing that. So it's very important for their careers as well that technically it's correct.
All right, let me ask you this question. Where will it be? Will it be a Lowell Auditorium in downtown Lowell, or will it be the Songus Center where this takes place?
Key distinction. We talked that out a lot, and I'm going to let Bob elaborate from there.
Okay. Well, before Bob starts, I want to explain to people that this is amateur boxing comparison to professional, and want Bob to explain what amateur boxing is and what is professional boxing, so we have the distinction from the beginning.
Well, obviously, amateur boxing is not getting paid, and that's a big issue because that's what makes it a clean sport. There's no money involved. This is run by an army of volunteers all over the country. We have Golden Gloves has about 60,000 people that participate in one way or another in the Golden Gloves. Professional boxing is a different thing altogether.
Okay.
I mean, the Golden Gloves is the launch pad of all of these great champions. You name one, and they came through the Golden Gloves. So this is basically the minor leagues, I guess you'd call it, to the pros.
Okay. Here it is, 2024, and you're talking about 2027. That's way out from the. So are you telling me that the venues in 25 and 26 are already picked?
Yeah, we're going to Tulsa for 2 years. They did a 2-year bid.
Okay.
And there are many other franchises that are interested in doing it.
Right.
And it's California and Iowa and Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, I think Florida. And it seems like there might be a couple of others. But since it's a 2-year bid, I think people are kind of waiting. And the only time you can do a bid, submit a bid, would be at a national meeting when we only have 2 a year, which is at the mid-year, which is in September, or the national tournament, which is in May. So we're going to jump the gun and do it right off the bat. And I think that gives us the inside track. Tulsa is also bidding for a 3rd year,
Oh, okay.
But I believe that, I think that, again, with the aggressive bid that Lowell will put forward, I think that we have the inside track.
So when you're talking about bid, what happens? Do you go there with videos and explain what is the venue, what's in this local area, the airports to fly in? I presume a lot of people would be flying in.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's the challenge being on the East Coast, especially the Northeast, is that typically the franchises vote, you know, what the expenses are.
I see.
So the middle part of the country would draw a lot of drive-ins, where in the East, there's only probably a couple franchises that would drive. New York, New Jersey, maybe PA would drive. The rest of the people would fly, so, you know, that cost us we fly all the time.
Right.
Because of where we are. So that will save the delegates, the teams, $10,000, $12,000. So that's a big chunk of money right there. So that's a challenge, but I think that what the city, the bid that the city wants to put forward, I think will be real positive and aggressive to take care of some of those expenses.
Besides Kevin, who would put the bid in? Would the town manager put the bid in?
Well, we will put it in.
Oh, you would?
The New England Golden Gloves
All right.
and the Lowell Sun Charities will do the bid.
Okay.
But we just need the support of the city and what they can do for us, and we'll present it.
Kevin, we have the support of the city. Name the town manager and the mayor of Lowell. So
Mayor Daniel Rourke and city manager Tom Golden
Okay.
are 100% committed to doing everything they can to make this a successful bid.
Okay.
So, you know, that if you think of something like the Folk Festival that's coming up in another week,
the Lowell Folk Festival.
Lowell Folk Festival, and you look at all the individuals that are involved in making that a success. So that's been going on for almost 30 years now.
Right.
But you look at the events outside, you look at moving people, right? You look at lodging for people when they come in. You look at entertainment venues, and then you look at pieces of the program that are more serious. So in this case, it's the tournament itself that has to be technically correct. But all of those facets would go into something like this, because the mayor and the manager of Lowell, in their desire to make it successful, want to make sure it's economically good for the downtown, make sure it's a driver for individuals to come in and spend their money, both for lodging and for entertainment, and that the citizens in the area, not just Lowell, but the citizens in the area, have a very entertaining event as well. So, you know, if you don't, let's hope it's a sellout on every night, but if you can't get into that venue, you still, like we look at some of these sports venues now, you could be outside the Lowell Memorial Auditorium, the designated area that's entertaining and has maybe an outside screen and has some food and some refreshments and a very festive atmosphere. So this needs to be not only a citywide, but really a regional event. We have season ticket holders in all the communities around here, many going back, some, you know, very, very long-standing
Season ticket holders of the Golden Gloves.
of Golden Gloves that have actually put them in their wills and handed them down to the next generation.
kidding.
That's how serious this business is to
Wow, I
some of
didn't
them.
realize that.
But we also have the younger fan base coming up. We have the next generation. And then we have people that are just interested in this amateur boxing. These would be individuals that are involved in local gyms now throughout the area. So, you know, it makes perfect sense for the manager and the mayor to want to bring a large group of people to town, to want to see it give an injection of economic development to the downtown areas, but also put it on the map for this tradition. Lowell is a boxing community. Greater Lowell has been, you know, for 78 years. And I'm so enthused and I get invigorated. I go to visit Bob Russo in his gym up in Portland, Maine. And Portland, Maine is a boxing town. Why? Because of guys like Bob that have developed it up there. And just the getting to know everyone, getting to now repeat, it's like coming back to the family. And, you know, I've gotten to know here the opening night of the Golden Gloves, that first Thursday in January every year for 9 nights. That's like a reunion. Everybody is as interested in seeing their friends. You know, it's January and it's cold outside, but there's more camaraderie and reunions going on in the hallway outside and throughout the venue, in addition to the boxes.
That's true. That's true.
You know, it's a great event. So there's just a lot of histories, family traditions, histories.
I want to drill down on this. Okay.
Sure.
So how many nights is this going to be? When is it going to be? Summertime? What time of the season is this in 2027?
I'll let Bob take that one.
Typically, it's in May or June.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna go for the first week in June.
Okay. So college will be out.
Yeah,
College
that's
students,
one of
everybody
the-
will be graduated.
That will
Okay.
be one of the driving forces.
Okay, very good.
The executives and the staff come in on a Thursday, and there's meetings, and then the setup starts, the registration starts on Saturday, and then the tournament draw is Sunday, and then the Hall of Fame banquet and so on is on Sunday. All the coach and boxer meetings are on Sunday.
Is that free food?
No.
Oh,
And
just trying.
no,
That's good.
it is in a lot of cases.
Yeah, all right.
And then the tournament starts on Monday and goes right through Saturday. So, you know, potentially a boxer can box 6 times
Okay.
to get to the championship, which is one heck of a challenge.
Now so we decided it's going to be at the Lowell Auditorium in downtown Lowell. Let's configure the venue. They're going to be 3 boxing rings initially
Yes.
at the beginning, and there's going to be boxing matches going on all the time. If I remember correctly, going to, what was it, 96, 95? 95. So there'll be boxing matches. Could be one in the 3rd round, one in the 1st round, and the second one could just be starting up, something like that.
Yeah, it will be until it pairs down, and then it'll go to 2 rings and then 1 for
I
the
see.
finals,
Okay.
and semifinals.
Yeah, I just wanted to figure. Okay, so I'm coming from the West Coast. I want to come to Lowell, so I could either use the Manchester Airport or Boston. I land at Manchester Airport. Who's greeting me there?
We'll have transportation set up. That's all prearranged with the teams and so on.
All right, so that's going to be taken care of. Okay, so I'm a boxer. I lose my 2nd round. What do I do? Sit around all day, or are you going to have events for them to see or go to, etc.?
I mean, you know, times have changed in the way that it has with the airlines and so on. It's almost cheaper to stay than to send them back. I mean, in a lot of cases back in the day, they used to, you know, after a couple of days, they'd send the kids back. Now, most of them just stay the whole week.
So you got to keep them happy. I mean, so
Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff going around the tournament, different attractions and tours and stuff, and that's the good part of
So are you going to take them to Concord and Lexington and the Constitution?
Yeah, things like that.
Take them up to the beach?
It's an educational opportunity
I
for the
see.
kids as well.
Yeah.
And but you know, they're also here to support their team. And you know, when one guy gets in from New England, the whole team is with them. And so they like to stay for the whole tournament and see how it goes. And the rest of the time they have off if they lose to enjoy the surrounding areas.
Right. So what do you get at the end, seeing that there's no money? Let's say I'm the heavyweight champ, right? And I go to the last day, Saturday. What do I get? What notoriety do I get?
Well, you get a championship ring.
Oh, ring, okay.
Yeah, you do, and which is a beautiful ring, and a trophy and so on, gift bags and so on. But you also join the icons of the sport of boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali have won that tournament.
And have gone to the Olympic Games?
In some cases, it depends on an Olympic year.
Well, 2027 is the year before
Both
the
of
Olympics.
those guys were Olympians, yeah.
Yeah, so on an Olympic qualifying year, which 27 will be, is that the National Golden Gloves Tournament of Champions will be an Olympic qualifier. So you win this, you qualify for the Olympics,
Right.
Olympic
All
trials.
right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now, where would these people stay? Where would the boxers stay? Would they stay with their families, or would they stay within the confines of a dormitory or hotel or whatever you're gonna?
Yeah, well, we'll set that all up, and but it looks like we're going to utilize the UMass Lowell dormitories, which are really great. And I was thinking maybe the delegates, it would be great for the kids and the coaches and so on, but maybe the delegates would want to stay in a hotel. But really, it's an awesome facility, and it's really a hotel with more amenities.
So you're talking about the place right near the Lasher Field. Is that the hotel?
Yes.
Is that the dorm, the new one?
Yeah.
That they built.
Yeah. But they, I didn't realize what kind of capacity they had. I mean, with that building and the tall building that they have,
Right. The
they
high
can,
rise.
they
The
can
high
do, I think, 1,300 people. So that would more than enough cover the incoming teams.
What about meals in regards to the young athletes that are hungry? I mean, would it be it's a dorm type situation, so would it be 24/7 food, or would it just be one meal a day or whatever, and
I
go
think-
into the town?
Yeah, I think that
city
I think
inside.
they're capable of doing all of that. I think it's a matter of what we decide that we want to do. I think the most important thing is breakfast, because the weigh-in and they want to eat immediately after that, and so we'll work all that out. We do want to spread some of the business downtown.
Right. I
And,
understand.
yeah, so again, for the fighters, the boxers, the coaches, breakfast is the most important one. Right after the weigh-in, they're dying to eat, so we'll take care of that for them.
So,
we've talked with the university. Bob and I made a visit and inspected these living facilities. We were very pleased with what we saw.
Yeah.
We were thinking, maybe because of our age, we were thinking old-time dorms that are like the old barracks,
Right.
These are beautiful, these university buildings. So the university is to be commended on having such excellent facilities there. And in addition to what everybody might think is dormitory style, you do have rooms where you might have 2 athletes or 2 students in it. But these units actually have 2-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 6-bedroom, and 8-bedroom.
Wow.
So you almost could put a whole team in there, right, with some coaches.
Yeah.
And these are units that have that has a small kitchen. It has a common living area, and each of these bedrooms have their own bathroom.
Cool,
So it's
yeah.
really well constructed
Right.
and designed beautifully. So we think, like as Bob had indicated, not just for the athletes that would endure or anything, because they're just there to be focused on that, but they'd be willing to stay in what we know is bare bones dorm. But these are very, very good. So there's meeting rooms, there's common areas, good internet, good televisions, comfortable lounge areas, and comfortable within the suites. To have that many individuals all in one place for the lodging is a big plus for our application. When we were in Detroit, I witnessed that there were hotels that were selected by the franchise that were authorized hotels. However, there was a hotel right next to the venue that ultimately was not utilized, and you had some of your athletes and delegates and families spread out in different parts. And this would give us, I think, a leg up in the application, because one, we're working with a respected partner like UMass Lowell, who in concept is willing to work with us on that. We have not got the full details on it yet agreed, but in concept, we're working on it.
Right.
But to have the athletes and the trainers and the coaches potentially be in one spot makes it easier for us on moving people to the auditorium. They're really within walking distance of the downtown. They could technically walk to the auditorium in 10
that's
minutes
true.
if they wanted to.
Yeah.
We don't know how hot it's going to be in June,
Yeah.
but Addition to the dormitories, it's a very secure facility, so we're assured of, security for the athletes. We are security within the building itself, all of that, and they have protocols like they do for students for who gets admitted to the building and who gets a swipe and gets
Would there
in
be
and all that
security?
stuff.
I presume there'd be security there, for them and so forth.
They'd be university related, if we have to hire anyone more in private, but we'd have a close relationship. Superintendent Greg Udon of the Lowell Police Department would be a partner in this to make sure,
Right, no doubt about it.
everybody's safe. And that includes the River Walkway going down to the Songus Arena and the venue around there. So when we get a better idea of, what the venues for entertainment are going to be and maybe what the stream of people, because even downtown, there's going to be a lot of people downtown.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Is this going to be televised, or do we have closed circuit television?
We stream it.
It will stream
Yeah.
it. So you would call up the local TV stations and have them cover it, et cetera, right? And
Well, we
talk
have a
about it.
streaming service.
Oh, you do
that
have a
does it, yeah.
Okay.
The streaming does really well because there's, we're talking about kids from all over, all 50 states.
Let me ask you a question. Who's this guy named Holland? What's he involved in? This gentleman named Holland. Hunter. I'm sorry, I said Holland. Hunter. What's Hunter's role in this configuration?
Well, like we all are, we're volunteers who like the sport and want to advance the youth development in the community. So there's a young man, a Suffolk graduate. I believe your daughter is a Suffolk graduate. So
Correct.
we have some commonality. That might have been what attracted him actually to this project, Dean. And Hunter is a great assist and one of our, chief volunteers that's helping us put together this program. And he's very good with media. So we will have enhanced media and good communication as this comes together and moves forward. He'll be pleased to know that you asked for him.
Yeah. Hunter, I'm sorry I called you Holland. I'm sorry. It's just the name is uncommon. So streaming, it's going to be, you're going to advertise. Are you going to advertise on the local radio in Boston, et cetera, too? Is that what
Absolutely,
you're
yeah.
thinking?
Yeah, we will. We'll do, we have a great sponsor, a partner in the Sprinkler Fitters Union. And,
Okay, yeah, I did meet that president.
Yes, and a great supporter, a Golden Glove diehard now that once we brought him to Lowell, we got him as a sponsor for New England and then the national sponsor.
That dude drives up from almost the Connecticut, New York
Yeah,
border.
every time.
Every time to go.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
See, I know who I
That's
know.
true,
I
yeah,
met the
that's true.
gentleman.
But,
we had a long discussion.
Yeah, they'll spend 6 figures on advertising.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for them.
So they're a great sponsor for us, and it's also a great opportunity for the kids to, our demographics, a lot of the kids aren't going to college maybe,
Right.
and but this offers them a career path as well, that with no student debt and get a great trade job that will be paying like a doctor in a few years.
Right. I have a minute left. Anything you want to say that I forgot to ask?
Just add one piece on the promotion. Sister publication, Boston Herald, is owned by the Lowell Sun, and there'll be, good Boston media coverage. So it's a wide range, and Chris Hurley does a great job for us
He does.
on a weekly basis, and covered the Nationals with Bob. Bob sent,
no kidding.
sent him back
Okay.
information.
So there is a writer that is expertise and so forth.
Absolutely, it's the sign.
And I
by the
think
Lowell
there's a
Sun.
guy named Powers for the Boston Globe who writes about the Olympics. So I would presume that he might be interested in following up on that stuff.
So just a summation that you asked, the bid will be submitted around the middle of August. The meeting that Bob chairs in Tulsa this year is going to take place in the middle of September, on September 14th. The actual bundle of the details that go in is being assembled now. We're trying to put dot the I's and cross the T's on all of that.